Good morning to all. May we request the Honorable Acting Chief Justice, High Court Madras, and other companion judges to pay floral tribute to Mahatma Gandhi statue.
பேசுறீங்களா? ஆரஞ்சு ஆரஞ்சு வீடு வீடு இல்லை, நான் வந்து ஆரஞ்சு கலர் எடுக்கிறேன். ரிவர்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். வருமா வந்துருமா? ஆன்ல இருக்கா?
Let us rise for Tamil Thai Vaalthu.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிர்ச்சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
May we now request the dignitaries on the dais to light Kuthuvilakku and commence the program.
Thank you, Lordships. Now, may we request Honorable Mrs. Justice Pushpa Satyanarayana, Administrative Judge of the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, to welcome the august gathering.
Hon'ble Justice Munishwarnath Bandari, the Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, my brothers and sisters on the bench, Mr. Veera Kadiravan, Additional Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, and Mr. Bhaskaran, Additional Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, Madurai Bench, and other law officers of the state and the centre, Registrar General, Additional Registrar General in charge, Madurai Bench, Registrars, the Principal District Judge, Madurai, and other judicial officers from the District Judiciary, members from the legal fraternity, Mr. K.P. Satyamurthy, Superintending Engineer, Buildings, Construction and Maintenance, PWD Madurai Circle, Government of Tamil Nadu and other PWD officials and staff, government officials, officers and staff members of the registry, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to one and all. With immense pleasure, privilege and honor, I welcome His Lordship, Honorable the Acting Chief Justice, Mr. Munishwarnath Bandari, on behalf of all my brother and sister judges, for this quadripartite function on His Lordship's third visit to the Madurai bench. I take this opportunity to thank His Lordship for giving me this opportunity to take up the pending works and expedite the same, some of which are being inaugurated by His Lordships today. But for the responsibility assigned by His Lordship, coupled with the free hand given, this milestone could not have been achieved by today within the short span of time. I am delighted to welcome my esteemed brothers and sister judges who have joined with us this morning, physically as well as virtually. It is said the lawyers have the ability to change injustice to justice, weakness into strength. Great freedom fighters of our nation, including the father of our nation, are all lawyers. Post-independence also, always lawyers play a pivotal role in the socio-economic development of our country. The advocates of this state are known for their legal acumen and erudition. But for their assistance and support, the constitutional courts and the subordinate courts of this state could not have achieved so many laurels in this justice delivery system in the country. Everyone should have a good workplace, which is their second home. The lawyers are not an exception. The law chambers, the shiny building right behind you, is useless and meaningless without you. It is the way you use this building gives it the meaning. You come in the morning with a serious thought, come back for lunch, get into discussions, come back for the tea time, and talk about, exchange your legal tips, your food, your hobbies, the briefs that you have received that day, and the excitement, the confusion, the legal issues, everything you spend in the law chambers. It was felt that the law chambers were not adequate, and it was decided to add one more floor, which amounts to 84 numbers. The working place also, working with good friends and colleagues, gives you happiness. And the happiness inspires productivity. And productivity spreads positivity, which gives everything one dreamt for. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. A good working place gives all such comfort. So we are very happy to provide such good working place to the legal fraternity, the inauguration of 84 additional law chambers by our Honorable Chief Justice. We hope and trust that the connecting bridge, or you call it a connecting corridor, that is being inaugurated today by His Lordship would save more time for the lawyers to reach the administrative block from their chambers. We welcome all the senior and junior advocates who have joined with us today for this ceremony. Jane Austen said, "There is nothing like staying at home for real comfort," which is why everyone shapes their homes, which then shapes them. Our home is our heaven. Some judges come to Madurai bench from the principal seat, leaving their families at Chennai. Since they are away from their family, they should at least be given some comforts of the home. With the increase in strength of the number of judges sitting at Madurai bench, the need for providing them with good accommodation has also increased, which necessitated us to construct residential apartments. We could not provide them individual bungalows for want of space, and it had to go only vertically. It is time to put them to good use through the inauguration by our Honorable Acting Chief Justice. The law officers of the state are known for their knowledge and rendering effective assistance to the courts, being the officers of the court in rendering justice to the litigant public. We are delighted to provide them some more of additional space. I welcome the law officers for this celebration. The untiring and enthusiastic judicial officers of the state, officers and staff of the High Court and the subordinate courts are the supporting pillars of the justice delivery system. We welcome you all to this joyous occasion. But for the support and assistance rendered by the PWD engineers and officials, this function could not have been organized within a short time. I welcome the PWD and other state government officials for this event while congratulating them for delivering these buildings within the time fixed. Once again, I welcome you all for this memorable event. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. Now it is time to honor the dignitaries. We request Honorable Mr. Justice C.V. Karthikeyan, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice Munishwarnath Bandari, Acting Chief Justice, High Court, Madras, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, Lordship. We request Honorable Mrs. Justice V. Bhavani Subbarayan, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Mrs. Justice Pushpa Satyanarayana, Administrative Judge of the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, Lordship. We request Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Tharani, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice S. Vaidyanathan, Judge, High Court, Madras, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, my lord. We request Honorable Miss Justice P.T. Asha, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sundar, Judge, High Court, Madras, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, Lordship. We request Honorable Mrs. Justice S. Anandi, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Suman, Judge, High Court, Madras, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, Lordship. We request Honorable Mrs. Justice S. Srimati, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice B. Puhalendi, Judge, High Court, Madras, by presenting shawl and memento.
Thank you, Lordship. May we now request Honorable Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court to honor Mr. K.P. Satyamurthy, Superintending Engineer, Building Circle, Public Works Department, Madurai.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, may we request Honorable Mr. Justice R. Vijay Kumar, Judge, High Court, Madras, to honor Mr. Veera Kadiravan, Additional Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, Madurai Bench.
Thank you, Lordship. May we now request Mr. K.P. Satyamurthy, Superintending Engineer, Building Circle, Public Works Department, Madurai, to present the project report.
Respected the Honorable Acting Chief Justice, High Court Madras, respected the Honorable Administrative Judge of Madurai Bench of Madurai High Court, respected the Honorable Judge High Court Madras, Member Building Committee, respected Honorable Judges on the dais, respected Honorable Judges of the dais, Judicial officials, Additional Advocate General, registrars and dignified personals and all officials, good morning to all. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to have this opportunity to submit the technical report of the building constructed in the premises of Madurai Bench of Madras High Court. Work number 1, construction of second floor consisting of 84 more law chambers over the law chamber building. Administrative sanction was accorded by the government for an amount of rupees 7 crores 73 lakhs 60,000. This building is designed and constructed as reinforced cement concrete framed structure. Total built up area of is 39,165 square feet, including corridor and common restrooms, etc. Each law chamber having a built-up area of 248 square feet and also having a room size of 3.5 meter by 7.2 meter with necessary electrical fittings and cupboard. 3 passenger lifts with 8% capacity have been installed. 4 common restrooms with toilet facilities have been provided with necessary water supply and sanitary arrangements. Work number 2, bridge connecting lawyers' chambers with administrative block. Administration sanction was accorded by the government for an amount of rupees 1 crore 19 lakhs 16,000. This structure is constructed with reinforced cement concrete of framed structure. The bridge connects the first floor of the administrative block and the lawyers' chambers for easy of access. The roof is designed in a slope roof manner to enhance the appearance and to avoid water clogging. The bridge is elevated to allow all types of vehicles with clearance, including fire engine. The length of the structure is 92.76 meter and the width is 2.4 meters. Work number 3, construction of residential apartments for the honorable judges. The administrative sanction was accorded by the government for an amount of rupees 13 crores 56 lakhs 8,000. This building is constructed as a reinforced concrete cement framed structure having ground and 4 floors with a total plinth area of 60,000 square feet. The ground floor, a reception area, 3 lifts along with 2 staircases, rooms for personal security officers and rooms for drivers, common restrooms and car parking were provided in the ground floor. Upper floors. In each upper floor comprises of 2 residential units with a built-up area of 5,000 square feet of each unit with formal and informal living areas. Necessary internal and external water supply and sanitary electrical fittings have been provided. Work number 4, additional law officers block, foundation stone. Administrative sanction was accorded for an amount of rupees 4 crores 27 lakhs 80,000. This building is to be constructed as a reinforced concrete framed structure having ground plus and 2 floors with a total area of 15,435 square feet. In ground floor, the additional advocate chamber and additional advocate office rooms, waiting hall with toilet facilities are proposed. In first floor and second floor, government pleader chamber and government pleader office rooms, computer room with toilet facilities are proposed. Lift provisions are also proposed in this building. Connecting corridor to the existing law chamber office are also proposed. With this, I conclude with my technical report. I once again thanks for giving me this great opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now, may we request Honorable Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court to inaugurate 84 additional law chambers.
Thank you, Lordship. May we now request Honorable Acting Chief Justice to inaugurate the bridge connecting lawyers' chambers with administrative law.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, may we request our Honorable Acting Chief Justice to inaugurate the residential apartments for the Honorable Judges.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, once again, may we request our Honorable Acting Chief Justice to virtually lay foundation stone for additional law officers' law.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, may we request Mr. Veera Kadiravan, Additional Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, Madurai Bench, to deliver special address.
My Lord, the Honorable Acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court, my Lord, the Honorable Administrative Judge, Mrs. Pushpa Satyanarayana, my Lords, Honorable Companion Judges of our High Court present here and also in Chennai, my Lords, the Honorable Judges of the High Court of the Building Committee, Mr. R. Shanmugasundaram, Advocate General, High Court of Madras, and the Additional Advocate Generals of Chennai, Mr. R. Bhaskaran, my brother, Additional Advocate General, Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, Mrs. Victoria Gauri, the Assistant Solicitor General of India, representing the Madurai Bench, Mr. P. Tilakumar, Government Pleader of Madurai Bench, the Special Government Pleaders, Additional Public Prosecutors and other law officers representing the state in the Madurai Bench, and the law officers of the Union of India, the President, Secretary and Office Bearers of the Bar Association, including the Women Bar Association of Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, Senior Advocates, Additional Registrar General, Registrar Judicial, Registrar Admin, and other officers and staff of the Registry of Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, Mr. K.P. Satyamurthy, Superintending Engineer, Public Works Department, and other engineers involved in the construction project and the future projects, the press and media, ladies and gentlemen, my beloved fellow advocates, good morning to all. It is glorious history and rich heritage, unique customs and lofty traditions, coupled with a galaxy of eminent judges and illustrious lawyers, have combined to confer upon the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court a unique and enviable status. It is therefore a matter of great pride and pleasure for me to be present here in the inaugural functions of a long-pending demand of lawyers for the new 84 additional law chambers, connecting corridors, and the residential apartments of the Hon'ble Judges, and also in the functions of laying stones for the additional law officers block in the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court. We all know Madurai Bench of Madras High Court was inaugurated on 24th July 2004 by the former Chief Justice, Honorable Mr. Justice R.C. Lahoti, presided over by the judges of the Honorable Supreme Court and our High Court. I can very well with authority that the building originally designed and constructed are really magnificent and beautiful. Madurai bench of Madras High Court originally started with functioning with jurisdiction of 13 districts. Now a new district is added as Tenkasi, which is bifurcated from Tirunelveli. I hope the present inaugurated 84 additional law chambers would serve the present needy purpose the best, and it would really facilitate more lawyers in the profession of law. It is on account of the special interest of the Committee of Judges and the personal supervision of the Hon'ble administrative judges of at present and the past, we are having these wonderful additional law chambers to feed and to have the facility for the lawyers of this Madurai bench. Every court has its own tradition, and if you go by tradition, we have an additional duty to maintain it. I am sure that it will be maintained as held by our Hon'ble High Court in several judgments. That is to duty of every citizen to protect the ancient monuments and the buildings, including the High Court buildings and the monuments. On behalf of the members of the bar, I thank the Committee of Judges on this happy inaugural occasion for granting permission for the connecting corridor, connecting lawyer chambers with the administrative block, which provides quick access to the court halls, which is one of the long demands of the bar. Moreover, in the natural weather conditions, we always need a connecting corridor. It was one of the long pending demand from the bar, and that was fulfilled by the Hon'ble Administrative Committee. We thank, on behalf of the bar, we thank the Administrative Committee and all concerned for giving such a wonderful purpose of giving a corridor for reaching the court. Because in Chennai also, in the old building there is connecting corridor, and the new building there is no connecting corridor. At least in Madurai bench we have the facility of connecting corridor, which will be more useful for the advocates to connect between the law chambers as well as the High Court. To sustain the development democratic form of governance in a civilized society, there has to be a rule of law. To ensure building befitting to the office of the Hon'ble Judges as residential apartments, we should be grateful to everyone who stood from this initiation of completion of the same. I think that this type of building will also be an example to emulate. Coming to the laying foundation stone for the additional lawyers block, additional officers block, I wish to state that the GP office was initially started with the minimum requirement. Because of the involvement of the Hon'ble Judges in disposing of more cases judicially, public have more confidence upon the judiciary, more particularly upon the Madurai bench of Madras High Court, so that cases are mounting, and at present there are numerous law officers and we don't have any sufficient place both for accommodating them and also for keeping the records, and also the meeting the officers coming to instruct the law officers. And so that for the administration and dispensation of justice, it is necessary to improve the infrastructural facilities periodically. So it is a welcome measure, and it is a long pending demand of the law officers to have more facility in their GP offices. That is fulfilled by this foundation, laying of foundation stone, and the state will ensure that the foundation stone as well as the buildings are completed within the stipulated time as scheduled, and there will be shortly an inaugural function for opening of the lawyer chambers also, more fully after the completion of the entire process. It is no doubt true that the Madurai bench of Madras High Court is moving towards effective judicial delivery system, and the infrastructural development becomes an absolute necessity to retain the effectiveness of bar and bench. I would like to state further that what gets easily attracted to the building, but the important aspect is functioning inside the court building. And our qualitative dispensation of justice, the relationship of bench and bar is very, very important. At this juncture, I can assure that the state government shall continue to extend all cooperation and assistance to strengthen the judicial system in Tamil Nadu. I also recollect for the construction of new chambers for the lawyers, there were certain hurdles, and some of the philanthropic advocates also offered to pay the entire areas of rent payable by the other bar members, and I thank all those bar members who philanthropically supported the government for the clearance of the rental due by some of the defaulting advocates. While feel proud to be a part of this inaugural function, once again I thank everyone who stood behind the construction of 3 different buildings and laying foundation stone for the additional law officers block in the premises of Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. I also thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to offer my special address on this occasion. Thanking you.
Thank you, sir. May we now request Honorable Mr. Justice B. Pugarendi, Judge, High Court Madras, to deliver special address.
My Lord, the Honorable Acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court, the Administrative Judge of Madurai Bench, my brother and sister judges, Additional Advocate General, Assistant Solicitor General, Registrars, the staffs of the registry, and my dear advocates, good morning to every one of you. It is a delighted moment for the advocates practicing in this bench. After 17 years, this bench got several amenities like additional law chambers, bridge connecting lawyers' chambers block, residential, 8 more additional apartments for the honorable judges, and additional law officers block. This bench, when it was established in the year 2004, by the time it was told that this bench is having a best in infrastructure and ambience compared with any other high courts all over India. It's true. We have utilized this, the advocates who are practicing in the bench are mostly from Mufassal Bar. Without experience with the high court practice, they have made wonders, and this bench, since its inception, has disposed more than 18 lakh cases, out of which 8 lakh main cases. The data which is available in the Honorable Supreme Court's website of the E-Committee's website, this bench, the Honorable the Madras High Court has heard more than 12 lakh cases through virtual hearing during this pandemic period. And this bench has contributed 45% in that figure. In overall disposal also, our Madras High Court stood as number 2 next to Allahabad High Court. We have disposed 2.8 lakh cases, and among this figure, this Madurai bench has contributed 40%. Allahabad High Court is having a strength of 90 sitting judge, as on this sitting 90 sitting judge, and with 60 judges, we stood as number 2 in disposals all over India. And with this amenities, I assure the Honorable Chief Justice that this bench will stood as number 1 in the benches among the country in the near future. And I hope that even now, this bench will be the number 1 bench in disposals all over the benches available in India. Any institution, it requires an infrastructure. Judiciary also requires that. And with this infrastructure, we have achieved these things. And with this additional infrastructures, now by way of this residential apartments, 8 more judges may come to this bench, and the lawyers, most of this, nearly, in fact, 50% of the lawyers alone are having the law chambers. And this additional law chambers will certainly, that will cater their need. And similarly, as admitted by the Additional Advocate General, the law officers are not having adequate facilities. I as a law officer, I had an occasion, I am fortunate enough to serve as a law officer in this bench from the year 2011 to 2018. I know the difficulties of the law officers. The law officers are not having sufficient space for keeping the records. It is, in fact, they are not having sufficient space to work also. This foundation stone for laying, thus constructing this additional law officers block would certainly cater their need, and there can be an efficient representations from the law officers side also in the near future. And we have to remind that the government has also lost several cases for want of papers. with this infrastructures, I thank the Honorable Acting Chief Justice and the Honorable Administrative Judge for having taken some initiatives to open these blocks very soon. And my special thanks to our Honorable Administrative Judge. The Honorable Judge within 3 months has made a facelift to our bench also. And thank you for this opportunity. My special thanks to the Honorable Administrative Judge and Mr. Justice G.R. Swaminathan for having provided me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, may we request Honorable Mr. Justice M. Sundar, Judge, High Court, Madras, to deliver special address.
Honorable Acting Chief Justice, Honorable Administrative Judge of the Madurai Bench, all the Honorable Judges on and off the dais, and those who have virtually joined this meeting, the two Advocates General who are here, the others who have joined virtually, Assistant Solicitor who is here, members of the bar, staff and registrars who constitute the registry, and press and media who are covering this event, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Kaalai Vanakkangal. 2 points before I plunge into what I want to say. One, I'm here standing in place of chairman of the building committee who is unable to participate owing to prior commitments and other responsibilities. The second is, with the permission of Honorable Chief, I would go bilingual. But I make it clear with a rider that I will not say anything in Tamil which I have not said in English. If I may provide entertainment in that sense, I'm greatly obliged. All right. Now, I will start with taking a leaf out of what the administrative judge said. The administrative judge, in her welcome address, mentioned that the building will mean nothing without you. I will take a leaf out of that and tell you that we will not look at this as a mere inauguration of brick and mortar structures. இதை ஒரு கட்டுமானமாக, ஒரு கட்டிடத்தின் திறப்பு விழாவாக, ஒரு கட்டுமானங்களின் திறப்பு விழாவாக மட்டும் நாம் பார்க்கக்கூடாது. இது இந்த கிளையினுடைய வளர்ச்சியினுடைய ஒரு முக்கியமான மைல்கல்லாக பார்ப்போம். We will see this as a milestone in the development of this Madurai bench of the Madras High Court. This is one aspect of the matter. Taking a leaf out of leaves out of rather what Justice Pogadindi had to say and what Additional Advocate General Mr. Veera Kadiravan had to say, we will see this as development of infrastructure. Ulkattumanathin valarchiyaga idai parpom. We will not see it as mere brick and mortar structure. When I say we will see this as a development, I find a strange coincidence. Look at what has been inaugurated today and the foundation stone has been laid. I find a coincidence which points to the development. A, it is the residence of honorable judges. B, the lawyers' chambers. C, a connecting bridge. Connecting A, the lawyers' chambers, and B, the court halls. After all, the bar and the bench are two sides of a coin, and that is imperative that both sides are together for development of any bench. Therefore, I find that it is a coincidence which by itself conveys a message. இது ஒரு தற்செயல் நிகழ்வாக இருக்கலாம், இருந்தாலும் இது ஒரு செய்தி சொல்வதாகவே கருதுகிறேன். நீதிபதிகள் இருக்கக்கூடிய அவர்களுடைய இருப்பிடம் என்று சொல்லலாம், அவர்கள் இருக்கக்கூடிய குடியிருப்பு என்றும் சொல்லலாம், வழக்கறிஞர்களுடைய பணி அறைகள் மற்றும் வழக்கறிஞர்கள் பணி அறைகளையும் நீதிமன்றங்களையும் இணைக்கும் பாலம். ஆகவே ஒரு நாணயத்தின் இரு பக்கங்கள் ஒன்றாக இணைவதாக ஒரு செய்தி இதில் இருப்பது என்றே நான் கருதுகிறேன். Sometimes it is said there are two wheels of a chariot. Rather than saying two wheels of a chariot, we would rather say two sides of a coin. That would be more appropriate when we talk about bar and the bench. The reason is this: two sides of the coin are never the same. But unless the two sides are together, no coin has a value. Therefore, it is more appropriate to say that it is two sides of a coin. And I think இது ஒரு கட்டியம் கூறுகிறது என்றே நினைக்கிறேன். அப்படி அமைந்திருக்கிறது, இன்று அப்படி அமைந்திருக்கிறது. இது ஒரு அம்சம். மற்றபடி இந்த கட்டுமானங்களை பற்றி, இந்த கட்டிடங்களை பற்றிய அனைத்து விவரங்களையும் திரு சத்யமூர்த்தி அவர்கள் உங்களுக்கு தெரிவித்திருக்கிறார். You know what it is. Now, as far as the lawyers' chambers are concerned, it is going to take a while. சிறிது காலம் எடுத்துக்கொள்வோம். அதே போன்று இந்த நீதிபதிகளுடைய வீடுகளும் சிறிது காலம் எடுக்கும், விரைவாக முடிக்கப்படும் என்பது எங்களுடைய நம்பிக்கை. We have that hope. And lastly, when we see this as a part of development of this bench, a permanent bench of the Madras High Court, what I would stress is this: we are all, look at the principal bench, the Madras High Court. It has a glorious past. Therefore, we are all inheritors of a glorious past. We are participants of a development, participants of a present which is developing and galloping, and we are seeing giant strides. Let us hope and wish we are testators of a glorious future. நாம் ஒரு பெரிய பாரம்பரியத்தின் வழித்தோன்றலாக இந்த கிளை இருக்கிறது. அதை கூடுதல் தலைமை வழக்கறிஞர் கூட அவருடைய உரையிலே அதை பற்றி சொன்னார். நாம் ஒரு பெரிய பாரம்பரியத்தின் வழித்தோன்றலாக இந்த கிளை இருக்கிறது. அது முன்னாள் நிகழ்வு, இப்பொழுது வழித்தோன்றல். தற்போது நாம் உட்கட்டமைப்புகள் மற்றும் இந்த செயல்பாடுகள் வளர்ந்து கொண்டே இருக்கிறது. We are a developing present. நாம் ஒரு வளமான எதிர்காலத்தையும் எதிர்பார்ப்போம். ஒரு வளமான எதிர்காலம் இருக்கிறது என்பது என்னுடைய திடமான நம்பிக்கை. இங்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய இளம் வழக்கறிஞர்கள், சம்பிரதாயமாக நான் சொல்லவில்லை, இங்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய இளம் வழக்கறிஞர்கள் அவர்கள் வழக்காடும் விதம், அவர்கள் நீதிமன்றங்களை அணுகும் விதம், இதை கூர்ந்து கவனிக்கும் பொழுது இந்த கிளைக்கு நிச்சயமாக ஒரு வளமான எதிர்காலம் இருக்கிறது என்பதில் எனக்கு எந்த ஐயப்பாடும் இல்லை. I have no doubt in my mind that we all shall be, the youngsters here shall all be testators of a glorious future, having been the inheritors of a wonderful past and a heritage. With these words, I conclude, thanking everyone for the opportunity. Wish you all the very best. Let us hope we see better times in days to come. Thank you very much. Vanakkam.
Thank you, Lordship. May we now request our Honorable Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court to deliver the presidential address.
Sister Justice Pushpa Satyanarayan, Administrative Judge, Madurai Bench, Brother Justice Vaidyanathan, Justice M. Sundar, Sister Justice Anita Subinath, Justice B. Pulingandi, all my sister and brother judges at Madurai and Chennai, Additional Advocate General at Madurai and Chennai, Advocate General also, Assistant Solicitor General, President and members of Madras High Court, Madurai Bench Advocates Association, President and members of Madurai Bar Association of the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, President and members of Madurai Bench of Madras High Court Bar Association, President and members of Madurai Bench of High Court Advocates Association, President and members of Women Advocates Association, Madras High Court Madurai Bench, Superintendent Engineer Public Works Department, the members of Registry, members of Bar, media person, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of great pleasure, and I am really delighted to inaugurate 84 additional law chambers, the bridge connecting lawyers' chambers with administrative block of the High Court, residential apartments for the Honorable Judges, and lastly, the foundation stone links of additional law officers block, which was also required. Much has already been said about the glorious past of the High Court and the bench. The bench was started or inaugurated in the year 2004 with all required facilities to the members of bar. 108 chambers were constructed to house and accommodate all the members of the bar. But with the passage of 15 years and increase in the number, it was felt that additional chambers are required to house and accommodate all the lawyers, which is not only required to have conducive atmosphere of working, but as said by my sister, Pushpa Satyanarayan, that it is also required to be provided to have better facility where they work. Not only work, they take all routine duties, which is required to be imparted or to be discharged by a lawyer. The history, rather recent disposal of the Madurai bench has also been figured, and especially in the period of pandemic COVID-19, the 2 years period was really testing us, and it said that Madras High Court, with the strength of 60 judges around, we could dispose of huge number of cases and stood at number 2 on all India level. Allahabad High Court, again I will take the pride because I am coming from Allahabad High Court only. There the disposal was maximum, but I endorse what has been said that we were having not 90 but 96 judges to dispose of those matters. So obviously, the Allahabad High Court with the additional strength could have discharged or could have disposed of additional number of cases, could have taken the lead. Even number of pending cases, as if taken, the Allahabad High Court is having the maximum pending cases. If the total table of all the high courts is taken, with that discharge, which cannot be without the association or without the help of the bar members. Judges, they discharge their work very sincerely, but again, the help and the cooperation of the bar is required. Justice Sundar put it in a beautiful manner that instead of saying that two wheels of the chariot, let it be said that two sides of the coin. Without two sides, the coin would not be having value. Only one caveat, the two sides never face each other, whereas we want, that is the only caveat on a lighter side. Why I'm saying, whatever way you say, is a truth. Unless we come together, we cannot discharge, and therefore, harmony between the bar and bench is required. Coming to the inaugural buildings today, again, it has been said this should not be taken to be a structure only. The law chambers were required, and not only, I would be understanding that 84 law chambers would be provided to the lawyers to have better working condition, but one more thing which is required, and I said to the office bearer of the different bar association to have a conference hall also. There is an area in between the chambers, one space, and on the other day when I visited that area, I asked them to come with a proposal to have a conference hall, which is not existing in the bench, which is also required. We are having this function only for the reason that we are not having the conference hall. That is also required, not only for the conference of the judges, but also to be used by the bar members, which is also required, which is one addition which need to be given. Bridge, obviously, it was required. Peculiarity of the building is that it's not directly connected with the administrative block. Especially in summers and rainy season, it was very, very difficult for the lawyers to come to the administrative block to attend the court cases. Summers, really difficult time, so as the rainy season. With the construction of the bridge, they would be in a position to approach the administrative block comfortably, and it is rightly said by Justice Sundar, there is a bridge between the bar and the bench also, so it should be taken to be a connected bridge for that also. Law officers block that is going to be constructed now. The budget of 4 crores and plus has been given by the state government. I extend my thanks to the state government also for giving all support to strengthen not only the infra of the High Court but also the subordinate court. They have assured us to give full support to strengthen even the infra of the subordinate courts. And very soon we would be getting an announcement for that. It's only because of the present scenario of COVID that it could not be taken up. The residential apartment of the judges, again, that was required. The moment we want to house more judges at Madurai bench, the difficulty was to the accommodation for the judges. That is was also required, and we are fortunate to have 8 apartments for the judges apart from the bungalows. These were the requirement which is required, which has been addressed with support of the administrative judges of the Madurai bench. And when I visited on the last occasion, Justice Pushpa Satyanarayan's sister had assured me to take up the matter so that the bridge connecting the chambers and the administrative block may be completed at the earliest, so as the bungalows and the chambers for the lawyers. I extend my sincere thanks to all the administrative judges, the state government, the technical person of PWD for completion of this project within time frame. And I hope that law officer block would also be taken up and completed within time frame. At this juncture, I would be referring to one more issue, that is mode of hearing. Presently, we are going with the virtual mode of hearing, looking to the rapid increase of the COVID surge also is there. The demands are coming for opening of the courts for physical hearing, especially for the subordinate courts. We are alive of the issue, and I have assured the bar members of the different subordinate courts that whenever the situation will come, which may not affect the lawyers or the litigant or anyone. For that, even the judicial officer will definitely open the hearing of the courts with physical mode also. It may be initially virtual physical, and if the situation permit, it may be physical alone. This is I'm saying for the subordinate courts, but I would request that wait for some time to take a decision on that. There shouldn't be any panic on that issue, because we have to take into consideration the health of everyone connected with the profession, which may be lawyers, the litigant, and even the judicial officers, apart from the staff. With that, I would close my speech, but at the end, again, I would extend my thanks to all the administrative judges, the judges of the building committee, the judges of Madurai bench, and all the officers from the High Court and the PWD for completion of all these 3 projects within time frame, and I wish that 4th project would also be taken up and completed within time frame. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lordship. Now, may we request Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Sumant, Judge, High Court Madras, to propose vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I have been assigned with the very pleasant task of proposing the vote of thanks. Speakers who have spoken prior to me have spoken about the symbolism of today's inaugurations as being a crystallization of what this building means to all of us, what the buildings inaugurated today mean. They have spoken about the importance of the buildings, the creation of new infrastructure, and I would like to take this opportunity to escalate it to the next level, which is this. To many of us in this audience, the premises of this court is a second home. To the lawyers here, to the staff here, you spend sometimes more time in this second home than you do in your primary homes. And as far as we, the judges, are concerned, many of us live permanently here. And to those of us who come from Madras on rotation too, this is a permanent home. Looking at it in that context, today is not just an inauguration, but it is a Graha Pravesham. Graham meaning home, and Pravesham meaning entrance. So welcome to your new homes. Though I'm conscious of my role as being a person to propose a vote of thanks and not the welcome, I thought it is appropriate to say it in the context that we have, in the fitness of things, the first family of our court to perform the Graha Pravesham. And we are very thankful and happy that we have the auspicious and gracious presence of Mrs. Karuna Bhandari and the leader of our family, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Munishwarnath Bhandari, to be here and graciously inaugurate the premises. Thank you very much for your presence. Thanks are due in no small measure to the several staff, the officials of the Public Works Department, the Revenue Department, and the contractors who have translated the drawings and plans from sheets of paper into brick and mortar and places where work is to be conducted and people are to live, eat, breathe, and conduct their business. A few names have been given to me. Thanks are not to be restricted on any account only to the names that I am going to read now, but they are representative of the many, many people who have worked with them as part of their teams to make this dream possible. Mr. S. Raghunathan, Chief Engineer, Buildings, Public Works Department. Mr. K.P. Satyamurthy, Superintending Engineer. Mr. V. Sukumaran and Mr. G. Ramesh Kumar, Executive Engineers, Mr. C. Shivaprabhakar and Mr. S. Yuvaraj Karthik, Assistant Engineers, the contractors, their teams, thank you very much. A heartfelt thanks from all of us. We conduct functions regularly, and none of these functions would ever be translated to what you see on the ground without the presence, the hard work, and the efforts and the efficiency of our registrars, their teams, and the staff. Again, I would be repeating myself, but these are only representative names. There are several people behind these gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, who have made this function possible. The additional Registrar General in charge, who also doubles as the Registrar Judicial, Mr. Purna Jayanand, Mr. T.P. Vadivelu, Additional Registrar Vigilance, Mr. P.R. Subramanian, Additional Registrar Information Technology and Statistics, Mr. Naga Dhananjaya Rao, Joint Registrar Administration, Mr. G. Shankar, Assistant Registrar Administration, Mrs. M. Jayashri, Sub-Assistant Registrar, Mr. S. Muthu Subramaniam, Sub-Assistant Registrar Liasoning, each and every member of the staff of the J and D section, a heartfelt thanks from all of us. Thanks also to the personnel of the police department who man our premises day in and day out, 24/7, and who give us the security to be able to move freely wherever we want at any time of day and night. This is not just a formal word of thanks. Even when we come at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night, just to take a look at what is happening on the day prior to a function, we see the teams working at full steam ahead. And they are working with their hearts in every job that they do. Even if we express some apprehension, is this going to be ready in time? They will tell you with a smile, ready, Your Lordship, everything will be ready. And we don't need to think twice about it because we know that when we come here the next morning, things will be perfect in every sense of the word. Again, there are many, many others who I have not named. So please excuse me for that. And my thanks are due to everyone named and unnamed. Our thanks are also due to our friends from the press and media, to the army of photographers and videographers, and a special thanks to a little photographer, Miss D. Shivani, who I'm sure you would all have noticed at all our official functions. She is the ex officio photographer who we have in all our functions. Thank you very much, Shivani, for all your services. I have consciously left two components of this vote of thanks to the very end because I believe that really I shouldn't be thanking them. We are all in it together. One is the members of the bar. This is your function as much as it is our function. Thank you very much for your unstinted cooperation, your participation, and your presence every step of the way in every little thing that we do. None of this would be possible without each one of you. And last but not the least, we should all raise our collars, and I mean my family of brother and sister judges, under the capable, able, smiling, and dynamic leadership of Justice Pushpa Satyanarayana. Times have been challenging. The one group of us is due to return back to another one of our homes soon in Madras. So I take this opportunity to thank each one of you for a very nice 3 months that we have spent here. They have been an action-packed 3 months. And before signing off and bearing in mind the pandemic that hopefully is on its way out, I'd like to quote Mary Angelo, who said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." These are times when I think we should laud ourselves for the will that we have shown and the resilience that each one of us have shown. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Lordship. National Anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गादा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
High tea is arranged for judicial officers, law officers, office bearers of various bar associations, advocates and other dignitaries near Court Hall number 7.
High tea is arranged for High Court officers and staff members near Court Hall number 5. Thank you all.